So for this solve, I started with blue in front, white on top, and I did a yellow cross. And that was because I saw this piece right here was a D2 away from being solved, and this piece up here was one move away from being a D2 from being solved. So I start out with an F2 to solve these two pieces relative to each other, and then I saw blue in the back, and so I did D, L prime, and then I had these three pieces, and instead of just doing a D to align them, I did a D2 and inserted the red piece, and then did my D prime to finish the cross. And then I saw this in the front right away, so I did U2, L prime, U prime, L, and really here, if I was smart, I should have inserted this, but I didn't see it at the time. I didn't see it until I was already starting to insert this, so I rotated and inserted it into the back, and here I saw here I saw these two pieces, so I did the same thing. I rotated and inserted them into the back, and then I saw this slot, I just did it like that, and then lastly these two pieces, like that. And then I did COLL like this, and then I had just a U prime, and then Alright, so for this solve, I started with blue on front and yellow on top, and this time I did a white cross because A, I thought it was fairly simple, and B, I saw this pre-made pair in the back, so I knew I wanted to preserve that to make the start of my F12 a lot easier. And so the first thing I did was I did an R to set up blue, now to be one move away, and then I was going to do an L prime set green and orange would be set up relative to each other, but in order to align them, I'd have to do a D prime, and that would break up this pair in the back, and so I didn't want that. So before I did the L prime to insert green, I did a U, so that when I did the L prime, it wouldn't mess up this pair in the back. So then I did D prime, and then after that I did a F to insert the blue, so now I have these three cross pieces all solved relative to each other. And then after that, I was going to insert red, but I saw once again that if I were to just insert it normally, it would break up this pair. So I did a U prime R, so that I could insert red and not mess up this pair. And then I had that done, and I just inserted it into the back. And then after that, I saw these two, and I inserted them. And then I saw this pair, so I inserted just like that. And then lastly, I had these two. So I did a U2 or rotation, I paired them up, and I inserted, and then I did U2, and then lefty fat soon, and I did notice this block, but I didn't really have an idea of what it would do, I just kind of noticed it, and then it came over here, and then I just had a U perm, like that, and then done. Okay, so for this next solve, I started with green in front and yellow on top, and I did a white cross because I saw that it was very easy. I saw this bar of two already solved cross pieces, and this piece was one move away from being solved. So I did an L, and then I inserted this piece in the back here with U, wide U, R prime, wide U prime, and I saw this pair in inspection because it's such an easy cross, so I solved that into the back this standard way. And then I was also looking ahead, and I saw this in the back, and I also saw this at the same time, so I inserted this, and then inserted this. I actually think I did a U3 here, but like, it does the same thing, so I inserted it like into the front right with F moves, and then I rotated and solved this pair, and then I did OLO like this, and then a U perm, and then done. Alright, so for this solve, I started with blue in front and yellow on top, and I did another white cross because I saw that it was very simple. So I saw these two pieces solved relative to each other. They were D2 away. And then this piece was 4 moves away from being a D2 away from being solved. So I did U prime, R prime, F, R, and then these three were all a D2 away, so I did a D2, and then an R prime to finish off the cross. And then I had my cross, and then I looked to first pair in inspection, and I did these two. I did U2, and then here I took it out and canceled into inserting it like that. And then I was looking ahead to this side of the cube while I was doing that, and I saw this pair. So I paired it up like that, and then inserted it into the back. And then I did this pair, like that. And then lastly I had the blue and orange pair, which I paired up with an RU, R prime. And then here I saw that this edge was misoriented, so I did a sledge, get that. And then I saw I had this OL, so I did the OL, and then another U prime, and then done. So for this last solve, I held it with red in front and white on top, and I did a yellow X cross because I saw that this piece was already inserted, and then I also had a pair pre-inserted, so that was basically like, I knew I was going to do a yellow X cross. And so then I started out with this red piece, but on the way of inserting it, like with an F2, I saw that this piece was aligned, so I did F prime, R prime, F prime, and then I had these three pieces. And instead of just inserting this piece normally, I wanted to insert it and also preserve this pair so that I could get my X cross. So what I did was I took it out with L prime, U prime, L, and then did a U and inserted it into the back slot with R prime, U, R. And then I did this pair, I did a U2, and I inserted it like that. And then I did this pair, like that. And this F12 pair, like that. And then I got this OL, which I use this algorithm for. And then lastly, I just had a GA perm. And then done.